Hello, it's your girl Kaylee coming at you. I know I look really tired because your girl just kind of woke up. It is 8:16 now. I've been up since about 6 a.m. today. But anyways, I just wanted to say your girl is back. Gonna be doing a random bit of these, but still gonna be doing them. Maybe continue. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna play out. Just know that I'm randomly gonna post up on here, and you know how it is. Your girl doesn't edit, your girl doesn't do all the fancy stuff. It's me being real with you guys and doing the whole gig like that instead of being the fancy schmancy people that's on here, which don't get me wrong, I like watching the fancy schmancy people. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and one, say I'm back, your girl's back. Two, also wanted to say I was doing my Bible study this morning, and I'm really honing in on getting my schedule right. So I found this thing on Amazon, which I really like it. It is this, it's called Yamuda Undated Planner, and it's 53 weeks. And what's cool is it's literally undated. And so I just date it and put my stuff on there. And then it also has daily to-dos or daily schedule type thing. You could put time by it or whatever. And then same here, you do your top priorities. This is like a week overview, and it has a habit tracker down here that I'm really here for. But anyways, I just wanted, that was not what I wanted to go over here. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. All two of you that are watching, thanks for watching. But anyways, what was that? I don't know. I am reading Zechariah right now in the Bible, and I'm almost done with it. I'm on chapter 10, and I just wanted to share this with you guys because my church spoke on something very much like this, and it just hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So with that being said, in Zechariah 10, it basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but essentially the ones that really stood out to me were, let me get to them real quick as it loads. I forgot to bring my Bible. So we are reading on my tablet. So that's the thing, is I would also, like, here's some confession time, I guess, in a way, is I would make an excuse of, oh, well, it's not, good timing, or, oh, I forgot my Bible. I need my physical Bible and my highlighters and my all the things, when it's like, no, you can just make it work with what you got. And that's what I'm doing. So anyway, it basically says in the beginning, in 10:1, it says, ask rain from the Lord in the season of the spring rain, from the Lord who makes the storm clouds, and he will give them showers of rain to everyone, the vegetation in the field. And I love using Enduring Word because it is a commentary that actually really helps me know what this is saying pertaining to us, me as a person, because this is talking about restoration for Judah and Israel, and it's the Old Testament. So you're like, how does this even apply to my life? And so I looked it up, and essentially it was basically saying that we need to be bold enough to come forth and ask God for things that we need, and he will supply it, for not necessarily the way that we want it supplied. Obviously, sometimes it will be, sometimes it won't be, sorry, my hair has been a brat today, but anyways, sometimes it will be supplied that way, sometimes it won't be. And that's basically what he's saying, is ask rain in the season of spring rain, from the God who literally makes the storm clouds. And it was saying that back then they relied on these storms in the certain seasons because they didn't have irrigation systems. So they literally relied on the rain for their crops. And they're basically saying, hey, ask for it whenever. You don't have to ask for it right now or in the certain seasons, and God will supply it. And so that was something that really hit me, was like, okay, we need to be bold enough to answer, or to ask, and he'll answer. And then, we try to sit here and think that, God's form of equality is we're all persecuted, we're all put down, we're all, the equality is that it's not abundance. And essentially, to everyone, the vegetation in the field, to everyone, the vegetation in the field, to everyone gets it. So his form of equality is abundance, while we sit here with this lack mentality of, oh, well, if we're going to be equal, this is what we're going to get type thing, which that's wrong. And then the next one that really got me, is for the household gods utter nonsense, and the diviners see lies. They tell false dreams and give empty consolation. Therefore the people wander like sheep, and they are afflicted for a lack of a shepherd. My anger is hot against the shepherds, and I will punish the leaders. For the Lord of hosts cares for his flock, the house of Judah, and will make them like his majestic steed in battle. So then, this is what hit me. So when he talked about the idols, and basically the common household idols, which it had me thinking, because, when you think idols, you're like, oh yeah, the big statues back in the day that, they worshipped in the Old Testament, right? The weirdos that worshipped the big, tall, bowing down to the cow idol type thing. Common household idols, in my opinion, is going to be, I don't know, maybe money, finances, rent. Something that is taking an idol is something that is taking your focus off of God, and you're thinking about that thing. And it really had me thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, there's plenty. There's reality TV, there's social media, there's, let's see, what else? There's sex, there's money, there's, trying to think what else. I mean, even cleaning your house, like keeping your house clean and having a certain image in your home. Like, there's so many. And I was just like, wow. I was very much like, oh no, that's for the Old Testament people. That's not for me. And it really had me thinking in my heart, okay, what are my idols? What am I idolizing other than God? And then, fortune tellers, some people still do that, which is very weird to me. Tarot cards and the palm read, like, that's just, I'm a no-go on that. Like, ooh, but it's still very, very real, and people still really do that. But it basically saying those are no real help. They don't help at all. They're not a thing. And the reason why the Israelites or the people are troubled, and it also made me think, okay, right now, a lot of Christians, which if you aren't one, it's not a big deal, it's totally fine, but a lot of the Christian community and Christians are troubled with the way that America's going, with the way that the country's going. And it said, you're troubled because you've listened to false and deceptive leaders, a lack of godly leadership. And that's what our church has been talking about, is that us as a body of Christ has not stood up for what is right, has not taken the mantle of being a shepherd for the flock. We've been too busy following these leaders that aren't true leaders, that aren't real shepherds to the flock. They're actually deceptive wolves that are here to kill the sheep and use them. So with that just kind of opened my eyes, because at our church, they were talking about how we need to step up and be bold enough to ask God, be bold enough to step up. And essentially at the end of that, I've said essentially like 10 times, but at the end of that verse, it said, for the Lord of hosts cares for his flock, the house of Judah, and will make them like his majestic steed in battle. So what he's saying there is, because of the fact that there is lack of godly leadership, and because of the fact that we've been following the ungodly leaders, and we've been allowing this to happen in our country, no more are we going to be measly sheep. We are now going to be raised as war horses to become mighty men and defeat our enemies. And that's also what our church was talking about, is stand up and stop using little sword. No, we were meant to hold a massive sword and be the cornerstone of this nation. And that, it really freaking hit me when they were like, this country was founded on Judeo-Christian views. Whether you like that or not, it was. And that's what brought your freedom. That's what brought your rights. That's what brought this nation to be the great nation that everyone's flocking to. Why would this be a bad nation if everyone was coming to it? I mean, how many immigrants do we have here now? A lot. I can tell you a lot from experience. Just in Texas, there's been a crazy migration of Indians from India because the land has been blessed or whatever. I don't even know the reason why, but there's a lot. There's a ton. Like over 4 million people a year moves to Dallas. Just Dallas, the city. So if America was so bad, why would people be doing that? So the lack of godly leadership, the lack of holding morals and standards that are correct. And where do you think you get your morality from? That was another thing, was, oh, well, it's my inner voice. Yeah, guess what that inner voice is? Genius. Anyways, don't let me get started. So then lastly, it just talks about how Jesus is the cornerstone. He's the tent peg, the battle bow, and the leader over every ruler of his people. So essentially, Jesus is our foundation, our measure, our standard. He is our tent peg. That's what holds all things securely. And he is a strong fighter for good. That's the battle bow. And the last verses, like around 6 and 7, that I really related with was that, God strengthens Israel to become those war horses. So if he strengthens Israel, he will also strengthen you, as well as give you joy, which in a book that I read called Sick of Me by Whitney. Sorry, I got distracted. Whitney, I can't remember her last name. Essentially, she talks about the difference between joy and happiness and self-help versus sanctification. And sanctification is what we want because we want to become more like Jesus in order to become those war horses, in order to be bold, in order to stand up and take this nation back and receive our freedoms again instead of this craziness that's going on. It's not as crazy as people make it out to be, too. I know that if we don't stop what's going on now and fix it now, that it could get to a point of, oh, this is not good. Because right now it's kind of like, this is iffy. This is not the best thing that's happening. But it'll get to a point where it's like, it's not good. And I don't want it to get to that point. And I hope others see this and realize that it's our time to be bold. It's okay to step up. It's okay for freedom of speech. We no longer have to cater to these ungodly leaderships that aren't even real leaders. They're liars and they're fakers and they're more insecure. That's why they're pressing things on other people to do, because they're so insecure about themselves. And because we're not, they don't like that. Don't get me started. Anyways, that's just what I got. It really hit home and I just wanted to share with you guys. So I'm not a pastor. I haven't been to seminary or any of that. This is all experience and things that I just want to share. In fact, it's not even really me teaching. It's just me sharing and kind of a call to action in a way. Are you going to be bold enough? Or are you going to be that wimpy Christian that didn't vote? 42% of Christians didn't vote last voting. And that was around 100 and some odd million. Guess how much it was for, and I'm not saying Trump is who I'm for, but Trump is someone who has the morals and standards that I stand for. Him as a person, completely different story, could really change that character flaws, that he has going on. But the things that he stands for is what I stand for. Essentially, majority. There's a couple of things. But anyways, won't get all in that. But 43,000, I think it was around 42, 41, 43,000 people was all that we needed in order for Trump to win last time. And I'm sorry, I don't care who the person is, as long as they stand for our morals and our values and our standards, and as long as they are keeping this nation, the great nation that it is, and keeping it free, I'll back them. But if you're wanting to take my freedoms, you're wanting to take my freedom of speech, you're wanting to take this down and cancel this off of YouTube, that's not okay, and that's not you can't do that. Government should not have the hold that government has right now on us. I hope y'all know that. Our government is not this government that is supposed to be able to control us like this. It was founded so that the people control our government, not our government control us. There's checks and balances for the government. So anyways, all these people wanting handouts, wanting life easy is the reason why our government's taking over. And that's not what we need right now. We need free enterprise, we need our freedoms, and we need somebody who stands on good morals and values. And whether or not that person is the best person doesn't matter, as long as they stand for what is right. That's what matters to me. So anyways, I got off on a whole schmick, whatever. My bad. Didn't mean to. I just was like, he's raising us to be war horses right now, and we got to stop being little piddly baby sheep and stand up and move forward so that this country can be righted, so it can go down the right path instead of the wrong path, so we cannot be the laughing stock of the world, but the example for the world. So anyways, super long, super annoyed that I did this really long. I was like, this is gonna be like 5 to 10 minutes, way longer than what I thought, because of the fact that I am passionate about what I talk about. So anywho, I hope y'all have a blessed day, and thanks for listening.